This is a comparison of the Naish 170-liter inflatable S26 board. I have the S26 125-liter GS. I'm just starting out, and that board is really a little bit unstable for me. I can't stand on it. I'm pretty heavy. So I'm going back and looking for something else to start on, and I found this. Fortunately, it's almost impossible to get. I did manage to find one that was shipped over from Europe, and this is going to be an opening of the box and a comparison of it with the 125. So here's the box. It came from Italy. It's kind of beat up. I won't tell you who I got it from, but yeah, it had a rough life coming across the ocean. You can see the straps are kind of pulling through the cardboard. If this were anything but a SUP, I'd probably be a little worried about what's going on inside this. So as I make my way around, I'm going to be cutting up and cutting into this. Once I get the box open, it's nice to see that the actual board is pretty well protected. Checked it out for damage. It looks pretty decent. It does come with this pump. I've got a big kiteboarding pump, so I'm not sure whether or not I'm going to use this or not. So let's open the bag and see what we have inside. First off, this handle, it's kind of nice. It's quite comfortable. Zipper's a zipper. We'll open that up. And inside we find an inflatable board that will probably never fit back into this bag. So I'll go ahead and unwrap it and see what's inside. It's packed well in bubble wrap. Now it's time to take it out in the garage and unpack it and inflate it. It's packed pretty well in this bubble wrap. Like I said, I'll be surprised if I can get it back into this box. So I've got it unwrapped. We're getting close. I flip it over. The first thing I notice is what the improvement over the 25 is this solid carbon box, and it's pretty rigid. So that seems to be, to me, the biggest selling point over the 25, plus the turned up rocker in the nose. So here it is, all limp on the floor, ready to inflate. Before inflating it, though, I wanted to knock on the top of this carbon box here, and tapping on it, it's sturdy. You know, it's a block that goes all the way through the board. So here we go, getting ready to inflate. Well, I thought I was going to start with my kiteboarding pump and hit the timer and start seeing how long it's going to take to pump this thing up. So first impression is actually the kiteboarding pump can't get the pressure that I need to get out of it. So I switched over to the Naish pump, and it worked quite well. And it took me about 8 minutes to get it up to 16 PSI. So I was going to keep it at that level and just see how it feels at 16. So here it is laying on the ground, all full of air now. I'm taking a look at the deck covering, so it's almost identical to the GS, the 125. Here's the handle in the middle, feels good. Again, it's really very similar to the GS. Flipping it over, that box, just kind of, again, tapping it, feeling how stiff that is. It's the improvement over the S25. Next thing we're going to do is just kind of push my hands and feel around on the board. I can feel where that mount box is, and then I can feel there's a slight concave around this area right here on either side. It's probably due to the box. And if you're ever wondering what a twin tip looks next to this gigantic 170-liter board, that's what you got right there. It's, I think, 33 inches wide. So now I'm laying my 125-liter GS over the top of it. And the shape, I'm surprised it's about the same size all around. I think the big difference is that it's 6 inches thick. The inflatable one is 6 inches thick, so that's where the added volume is coming from. I'm just going to do a walk around. We've got the GS on top and then the 170-liter inflatable underneath. Like I said, they're almost identical in size, so I make my way around to the front. Again, gotta love the Pro video here. This is just me in a garage with my iPhone. Don't worry about the tidiness. So we will get underneath here and lift it up and see underneath. The one thing I did want to say is that Inflatable is actually slightly lighter. I think it's slightly lighter than the GS. And then I decided I'm just going to stand up on top of it and get a feel for it. So as I move around with my foot, I can tell it's pretty stiff there. But when I get over the edges, you can definitely tell when you're not on the box. So I can feel that on either side of it. And I'm sure if I took it up to the 20 psi, it would start to get better. But I guess the thing is, you'll know you're on the box, which is nice. So, and it feels nice and rigid when I'm on top of the box. It's just sitting right on the garage floor. So I take one more look at the bottom and the side. So there's that plate. It does kind of stick up a little bit. Won't matter because the foil will be on it and it'll be out of the water. And I tip it over on side, and you can kind of see how thick this thing is, like kind of a bit of a balloon. I don't have an SUP, so I imagine this is probably about what they're like. So here it is. Good luck getting it back in the bag is my thought, so I'll have to see how that works out. As a heavier guy getting into this, I'm over 200 pounds. This, I think, is going to do the trick. 6.8. These are all S26 Naish. This is the 6.8. And the foil with the 2450 wing and the 170 liter inflatable board. I think this will be great to start with because I can actually stand on it. And then it'll be really good for travel too. I'm going to be headed down to Texas in the winter, so I'm looking forward to be able to pack this easily up and take it with me. More to come on this as I get it out on the water and have some impressions.